As a young citizen of India, armed with technology, knowledge, and love for my nation, with a vision of transforming India into a developed nation, I'm joining Shobhit University. What about you?
Very good morning to all the participants from India and abroad. Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology Meerut, deemed to be university, and its Centers of Excellence, Center for Agriculture Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies extend greetings to all the participants from India and abroad who are attending today's national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture. This webinar series is being hosted on every Thursday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Today is 9th December 2021. We mourn the death of India's first Chief Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, his wife Madhulika Rawat, serving Brigadier L.S. Lidar, and 10 more defense personnel who were killed in chopper crash in Nilgiris, Tamilnadu, on Wednesday, 8th December 2021. We pray for speedy recovery and comeback of lone survivor Group Captain Varun Singh, who is battling for his life in military hospital Nilgiris. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. This webinar is on the topic Agricultural Income Pathway, Strengthening Links Between Agriculture Activities and Nutrition Outcomes. On behalf of the Honorable Chancellor, Honorable Vice Chancellor, the faculty members of the university, and on my behalf and as Professor Emeritus and Chairman of the Centers of Excellence, Center for Agriculture Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, Center for Agri-Business Disaster Management Studies, Center for Informatics Development Solutions and Applications, and Center for Industry 4.0 Technology Studies and Application, and Center for Health Informatics and Computing. Let me welcome today's guest speaker to deliver the talk in the 55th edition of this national webinar series. Madam Harini Rangarajan, Chief Operating Officer, Nutrigenetics Life Science Private Limited, Nagar, Madurai, State of Tamilnadu, India. For the benefits of the participants and the guest speakers, so far, under this webinar series, the university has organized 53 webinars on the topics, namely, role of agricultural cooperative societies and e-governance, blockchain technology-based fishery value chain, a self-contained village felt need of the day, spices informatics network value chain, land and camera, a camouflaged treasure trove, smart hill agriculture, a digitalized hill agriculture value system, Mera Mobile, Mera Marketing, integrated mariculture, aquaponics, and precision agriculture, MAPA biofarms for income revolution. Smart tribal agriculture, optimizing value chain, digital agri-tech and industry perspective, land resources information system in India, present and road ahead, weather decision technologies for increasing farm income, big data in smart farming, sustainable soil and land management for climate smart agriculture, understanding market dynamics for increasing farm income, role of technologies in mitigating crop risk, how to generate additional profit by a simple, attractive approaches in farm produce, adoption of flexi rubber check dam technology, potential benefit for farmers in rainfed and coastal agro ecosystems, realizing the economic benefits of agroforestry, Optosol organic humic solutions for increasing crop yields and quality while increasing farm income and improving soil health. Closing the nutrient loop, phosphorus management in protein farming, improving nutrient use efficiency and farm productivity. Artificial intelligence enabled pest management technology for agricultural crop protection without pesticides. Empowering farmers through extension and knowledge dissemination role of mass media. Poultry monitoring, smart poultry monitoring solutions. Agrobiodiversity, intellectual property laws, agriculture and farmers' welfare, and insight into the issues for India's agrarian economy. Manufacture and applications of biochar for increased soil fertility and crop productivity. Sustainable integration of livestock with agriculture for farm income increase. Role of geographical indications on improving farmers' income, lessons from Asia Pacific region. Dairy informatics network value chain, a dairy tech startup perspective for farmers' income. Spices informatics network value chain, a turmeric startup perspective for farmer income increase. Madam Harini, can you come on video? Yes. Generating sustainable on-farm income through fintech interventions. Nutrition sensitive agriculture pathway for increasing farmers' income. Nutrition sensitive agriculture pathway for increasing farmer income. Artificial intelligence and data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil, harvested food that minimizes human disease. Bioenergy supply chain, a business opportunity for rural enterprises and farmer producer organizations. Tech enabling India's tech-starved farmers for manifold increase in productivity and income. Open insurance ecosystem for agricultural producers, risk management solutions to overcome repercussions on farmers' income, market stability, and food safety. Role of mass media for farmers' income increase, a case study from Green TV. AgStack, agriculture stack, open source digital infrastructure for the agricultural ecosystem, a Linux Foundation project. Circular bioeconomy towards resilience, urgent need for redefining raw materials and modified waste management policies and regulations. Agritech New Horizon in Indian agriculture. Supporting of farmers for marketing will only help doubling of income by 2022. Rural transformation for farmers' income increase. Case studies from impoverished districts. Mobile-enabled software as a service to solve complex supply chain challenges. A case study from Daily Orders. John Deere's journey in India. Integrated precision agriculture solutions. Doubling the income of farmers through eco-agri revolution. Bayer's carbon farming initiatives. Post-production interventions maximizing value for farmers. BAIF models of revival of traditional water management systems to enable doubling of farmers' income. Should we adopt farmers' welfare as a new paradigm instead of farmers' welfare? ICT interventions in agriculture, challenges and opportunities. Democratizing the future of farming, a global experience. Commercial processing of orders, the next game changer in dairying. Data-driven agriculture and agri-tech startup perspective. Agribusiness potentials in Moringa. Today is the 55th edition of the National Webinar Series, which will be addressed by Madam Harina Rangarajan, Chief Operating Officer, Nutrigenetics Life Science Private Limited, Rajnagar, Madurai, State of Tamilnadu, on the very important topic, agricultural income pathways, strengthening links between agricultural activities and nutrition outcomes. Agricultural income pathway, strengthening links between agricultural activities and nutrition outcomes. Acharya Vinoba Bhave said, India is largely an agricultural country, Krishi Pradhan Desh, and a country of villages, Gram Pradhan Desh, more than 6.25 lakhs villages. Agriculture sector is the foundation of economy. It employs more than 50% of the India's workforce and contributes almost 17 to 18% of its GDP. But agriculture is the main source of food, employment, and income for 70 to 80% of the people suffering from hunger in developing countries. At present, agricultural livelihoods are being severely impacted world over as a result of anthropogenic global warming and climate change. India's labor-intensive and subsistence-based agriculture sector is particularly vulnerable to this development. Climate change has both direct and indirect effects on agriculture productivity, including changing rainfall patterns, severe drought, flooding, and changes in the geographical redistribution of pests and diseases. Indian farming community comprises of about 14.5 crores of operational holders, of which 85% farmers have small and marginal size operational holdings. Farmer needs timely, location-specific, and personalized information for effective control on their production, risk, and then market their produce to identified market opportunities. Many national level programs such as Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, Startup India, and Startup India have faced operational difficulties for its impact at farm level and farmers level, that too at small and marginal farmers. Future smart farmers. Future is an area of increasing uncertainty. Though the future cannot be predicted, it can be explored. Exploring future helps makes better decision in the present time. It opens new paths, unveils new options, and enlarges our understanding of potential unexpected effects of our decisions. At a time when climate smart agriculture is taking momentum in the international community, the urgency of more future smart farmer organization and local communities become imperious. Voice and the views of future smart farmer organizations and local communities are needed to influence the national and international agendas. I would like to quote the Honorable Prime Minister's Independence Day address on 15th August 2021. He said, I quote, in the coming years, we will have to increase the collective power of the small farmers of the country. We need to give them new facilities. They must become the country's pride. Chota Kisan, Bane Desh Ki Shaan. Small farmers become the pride of the nation. The Government of India, through National Informatics Center, has prepared IT blueprint for agriculture sector through a national conference on informatics for sustainable agriculture development ISDA in 1995. I was the organizing secretary general of this international webinar, national semi-conference on informatics for sustainable agriculture development, which gave the IT blueprint for the entire agriculture sector. And I was also associated with the Doubling Farmers' Income by 2022 of the Government of India, of which Volume 11 and Volume 12B, I was associated as the group leader. Volume 12B talks about digital technology in agriculture, which has given 7 mission mode programs for digitalization of Indian agriculture. And I quote, digitalized agriculture, digital technology and innovation in agriculture, Digital India, Make in India, Skill India, and Startups India programs for transformational reforms in agricultural sector in the form of smart irrigated farming, smart rainfed farming, and smart tribal farming. Digitalized agromet advisories and agricultural risk management solutions. Digitalized agricultural resources information systems and micro-level planning for achieving smart farming and smart village. Digitalized value chain for about 400 agriculture commodities, and digitalized access to inputs, knowledge, skill, agricultural finance, credit, marketing, agribusiness management to farmers. Digitalized integrated land and water management, per drop more crop. And more important is digitalized farm health management. It is an integrated approach of farmer health, that is human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and fishery health, fish health, and environment health. 85% of the disease which we get come from animal. COVID-19 is one such, disease which affected the entire world. Doubling farmers' income by 2022 report also suggested the need for development of a network of cooperative societies in the form of CoopNet and automation of each cooperative society, e-cooperatives, to facilitate governance and operational efficiency in the cooperative structure is good for rural India. The 3 Farm Acts enacted during 2022 were a game challenge changer, but unfortunately, because of the few section of the farming community, that is a large scale farmers, their agitation during the last more than 1 year, the Government of India has withdrawn these important 3 Farm Acts, which were favorable for the small and marginal farmers, which comprises of about something like 85% of the farming community. Atmanirbhar Bharat, the road ahead, is the mission of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, of making India a self-reliant nation, rested on 5 I's: intent, inclusion, investment, infrastructure, and inclusion, and based on 5 pillars: economy, quantum jump; infrastructure, one that represents modern India; systems, 21st century technology driven; vibrant demography, demand, whereby the strength of our demand and supply chain should be utilized to full capacity; Atmanirbhar Bharat in agriculture. During the third tranche of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, Government of India has provided about 1.5 lakh crore as a booster for the agriculture sector. Let us talk about democratizing the future of farming. Achieving Sustainable Development Goal 2, zero hunger, in a situation of rapid global population growth requires a continued focus on food production. Farming not merely needs to sustainably produce nutritious diets, but should also provide livelihood for farmers while retaining natural ecosystem and services. Agricultural income pathway, strengthening links between agricultural activities and nutrition outcomes. Today, this is the topic of today's talk. In this webinar series, the following talks have the relevance of today's talk title: Nutrition Sensitive Agriculture, Pathways for Increasing Farmers' Income, given by Dr. Amit Tripathi, CEO, Geolife Agritech India Private Limited, Mumbai. It is an agro-nanotechnology company. He delivered the talk on 17th June 2021. Based on this talk and my moderation, this has come as a paper published by both Dr. Amit Tripathi and myself. The abstract goes like this: India has the largest food producing potential in the world, with 157.35 million hectares of land under cultivation, with 15 agroclimatic regions, 127 agroclimatic zones, having about 46 out of 60 total soil type, having 46 out of 60 soil types. COVID-19 lockdown has enabled fruits and vegetables to be directly sourced from farmers, and their organization delivered at the doorsteps of the consumer. So this is where now the linking of nutrition outcomes and the agricultural activities are more important. COVID-19 has given a fantastic lessons to us. And the report of the Committee of the Doubling Farmers' Income 2018 of Government of India also observes that the urban and rural population in India is still facing nutrition-linked health concern due to non-balanced diet, despite the fact that country produces large quantities of high nutrition food such as cereals, pulses, fruits, vegetables, milk, meat, and egg. The plate impacts the demand of input at farms. Agricultural and nutrition are linked at all stages of food value chain, from production to market to final usage by the food consumer. The Global Agri-Pro Focus Network believes that farmers are key to local economic growth, sustainable agri-food systems, and food security for all. So it facilitates 4 innovation communities: gender in value chains, soil health management, nutrition sensitive agriculture, and agroecology. Farming system for nutrition is a location specific, inclusive approach based on resource endowment and a specific environment to address the nutritional needs of household. So nutrition sensitive agriculture is a food-based approach to agriculture development that puts nutritionally rich foods, dietary diversity, and food fortification at the heart of overcoming malnutrition and micronutrient deficiencies. National Nutrition Mission in 2018 portion, Prime Minister's overarching scheme for holistic nutrition Abhiyan, directs the attention of the country towards the problem of malnutrition and addresses it in a mission mode. Unfortunately, now it is not happening. Dr. Abhilaksh Likhi, Additional Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, in his article titled "Strengthening a Nutrition Sensitive Agriculture Approach in Agriculture in India," he quoted, Urban and rural population in India still face nutrition-linked health concerns due to a non-balanced diet. Let us look at how various public and private universities initiatives has helped in meeting the nutritional challenges. And he quotes the report of the Committee on Doubling Farmers' Income 2018. And also, that he talks about it, that the report recommends that interventions at the last mile should be designed to recover demand for crops that create value not only for the farmer's return, but also for families' access to nutrition, health, and well-being. With the innovative perspective that focuses on consumption and demand, with an innovative perspective that focuses on consumer and demand, in the Consultative Group of International Agriculture Research (CGIAR) program on agriculture for nutrition and health seeks to realize the enormous potential of agriculture development to make significant contribution to improving the nutrition and health of people worldwide. A for nutrition health. A and for nutrition and health, to fill the existing gap between agriculture development and its unfulfilled health and nutritional benefits. It talks about food systems for a healthier diet, biofortification, food safety, supporting policies, programs, and enabling actions through research, and improving human health. I also would like to quote another talk in this webinar series by Dr. Krish Sotropoulos, Chief Executive Officer, Global Opportunities Commercialization Private Limited, and Director, APAC Health Private Limited, Melbourne, Australia. He gave a talk on 24th June 2021. He talked on artificial intelligence and data analytics to ensure optimal nutrition in the soil, harvested food that minimizes human disease. Nutritional genomics, also known as nutrigenomics, is a science studying the relationship between human genome, human nutrition, and health. People in the field work toward developing an understanding of how the whole body responds to a food via systems biology, as well as single gene or single food compound relationship. Agriculture and nutrition share a common entry point. Agriculture and nutrition share a common entry point, that is food. Food is a key outcome of agricultural activities and in turn is a key input for good nutrition. Without agriculture, there is little food for our nutrition, but availability of food from agriculture does not ensure good nutrition. Common sense would dictate a reinforcing relationship between the two fields of agriculture and nutrition, but in fact, there is often a significant disconnect. Today's topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching over the telecast. Most agriculturalists do not consider the main goal of agricultural development to the improvement of human health beyond providing sufficient calories, but rather a broad agenda recognizing the important role that agriculture plays as a major livelihood and driver of economic growth in the countries. The term nutrition agriculture linkage describes the set of relationship that shows the mutual dependence of nutrition, health, and agriculture. Nutrition agriculture frameworks usually feature looping relationship that illustrate the bidirectional causality and thus interdependence among their key components. Agricultural income pathway is not linear. Agriculture development is now expected to proceed in a way that maximizes opportunities to improve health nutrition. Health informatics network value chain is a $1 trillion economy and a sunrise sector. Human health, plant health, animal health, soil health, water health, and environmental health and fish health generates a lot of data. Use of artificial intelligence and big data, it can create a health informatics network value chain connecting these 6 sectors to generate a $1 trillion economy, which is a sunrise sector. Let us now turn to the address of Madam Harini Rangarajan, COO, Nutrigenetic Life Science Private Limited, Madurai, on a very important topic, agriculture income pathway, strengthening links between agriculture activities and nutrition outcomes. This today's topic will motivate and galvanize the participants watching our telecast through the facebook.com/Shobhit University India or youtube.com/Shobhit University in or linkedin.com/company/Shobhit-University for establishing agri-tech startups. More than 6,500 agri-tech startups, one per block, or even about 2.25 lakh agri-tech startups, one per each Gram Panchayat, strengthening the links between agricultural activities and nutrition outcome in the country. Careers in the agriculture, food and natural resource cluster involve improving the quality and safety of food, cultivating and preserving our natural resources, and caring for animals. Career pathway is divided into 7 pathways: agribusiness systems, animal systems, environmental services systems, food products and processing systems, natural resource systems, plant systems, and power structural and technical systems. According to the synopsis provided by the guest speaker, this talk will cover various aspects including nutrigenetics introduction, agricultural income pathway, focus of agricultural income and nutrition, influence of nutrigenetics, and nutritional opportunities. This talk will provide an understanding of agricultural value systems in India based on nutrition-sensitive agriculture to provide nutrition secure future through applications of AI and data analytics. The plate impacts the demands of inputs at farms. Food subsidy is required at the plant level, not at the farmer level in India. The Nutrigenetics Life Sciences Private Limited has signed an MOU with the university on 24th November 2021. Let me invite our guest speaker to address the participants. Before that, let me introduce our guest speaker to the audience. Profile, please. Madam Harini Rangarajan is presently Director and COO in Nutrigenetics Life Sciences Private Limited, which is recognized as a startup company by the Department of Industry, DIP Government of India, and is involved in the research and development of fulfilling nutrition for seamless generation, especially targeting on sports and targeted nutrition. She was involved as a Birac social innovator from 5th August 2020 to 27th November 2021, understanding the various social needs, its nutritional requirement of Indian society, Indian startup ecosystem, and various approaches of being an entrepreneur and requirements to start an enterprise. Also worked as a product development head in Thai Research Infotech, Chennai during the COVID period for developing a NutriBar for commercialization. Earlier, she also worked as an assistant professor in Avinash Lingam University, Coimbatore. Harini Rangarajan is a Social Innovation Immersion Program Fellow and also has been selected as a BRAC Social Innovator under SPARS Social Innovation Program. She has handled the following projects: design and development of a system for extraction of bioactive components from fruits and vegetables during drying process, funded by Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Studies on drying and dableting of muskmelon powder with and without carbonization for ready-to-serve muskmelon energy drink. Studied on the development of edible film for ready-to-serve instant dip tea with casein milk protein. She has published the following papers: Traditional Fruits of South India, Bioactive Components and Their Potential Health Implication in Chronic Diseases. Study on Physiochemical Quality Characteristic of Tomato Slices dried using Innovative Drying System. Effect of Artificial Ripening Technique on Physicochemical Properties of Banana Variety Proven. And Regeneration of Silica from Rice Husk Ash and its Potential Application Review. She has undergone various industrial training and attended both the national and international workshops and seminars. She has MTech Food Processing Engineering from Indian Institute of Food Processing Technology, Tanjavur, and BE Food Processing and Preservation Technology from Avinasilingam University, Coimbatore. We welcome Madam Harini Rangarajan today to today's national webinar series on doubling farmers' income by 2022, Nirmar Bharat in agriculture, to talk on the topic agricultural income pathway, strengthening links between agricultural activities and nutrition outcome. Over to you, Madam Harini Rangarajan, for your very important talk. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity, sir. It was a very brief introduction about me, and I think you have covered almost what is agriculture income pathways and nutritional outcomes from that. I think you itself have given a brief introduction about it. I'll take through the slides of what I have done. First of all, a very warm greetings to one and all present here. This is Harini. As said, I am the founder of Nutrigenetics License Private Limited. So let me share my screen.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I'm just
It's not okay. You put your video on also.
yeah. Is my slides visible?
Your slide is visible, but your video is close. Not on.
So I think some network issues. I'll off my video.
Hmm. But
Okay.
okay, fine, fine, fine.
Okay, sir. A very warm greetings to one and all present here. This is Harini Rangarajan. Before getting into the topic, I would like to thank Mr. Saravana Kumaran, sir, my mentor, the person who is responsible for my position today I am in, and Professor Moni and Shobhit University for recognizing and giving an opportunity for a budding entrepreneur like me. Um so today we are all here gathered to talk about the topic called the agriculture income pathways, strengthening links between agriculture activities and nutritional outcomes. So these are the key takeaways, like a small introduction about what is Nutrigenetics Life Science Private Limited and what is agriculture income pathways, and what does it mean? How are we going to approach it? What are the focus areas of agriculture income and nutrition? And how is nutrigenetics utilizing the agriculture income pathways and the nutritional supports? How are we utilizing it? And how are we turning that into an nutritional opportunity? These are the key takeaways that we will be seeing today. So let me give a small introduction about Nutrigenetics. Nutrigenetics, as said, is a startup which was recently started, basically a food manufacturing industry, evolved to fulfill the nutrition for seamless generation, specifically for sports and targeted nutrition. And we have an objective to serve a nutritious, rich food product, which is spotless by the food industry so far. Here, when I talk about nutrition, we wanted to cater the nutritional needs of our Indian society, as said by Professor Moni, like the nutritional needs like micronutrient deficiency, iron deficiency, vitamin B12 deficiency, all these nutritional needs of our Indian society. How are we going to target from the agriculture value chain, creating income and the nutritional enlightenment in our path? These are the few sectors that we will be targeting. So, our mission is to adopt the holistic approach in converting ingenious food products indigenous food products into ingenious nutritional offerings in our relentless pursuits. And our vision is to create healthy nutritional offerings in the West of addressing malnutrition, anemia, and micronutrient deficiency. These are all the nutritional deficiency of our Indian societies. And our values is to give absolute commitment to quality, void of synthetic preservatives, colors, and representing the mother's nature in the product as well. So, before getting into the topic, I would like to give in a small introduction of about what is nutrition, what is food, how is agriculture going to cater the nutrition as well as food, and let's see. Uh, I would say nutrition deficiency is disease. Here, when we have an insufficient nutrition, that is the combination of carbohydrates, proteins, fat, like the a complete set of nutrition required for our body, when we don't have it in a sufficient amount, that is where the disease starts its journey. So nutrition deficiency is something called as disease, that I would say. And food alone won't solve the problem of the nutritional deficiency as like malnutrition. So how are we going to combine nutrition food that comes with agriculture? So agriculture is a nutritional sensitive when it addresses the underlying causes of malnutrition. For example, food security. What is food security? A balanced diet, as said, the combination of carbs, protein, vitamins, micronutrients, and macronutrients all together with the required dietary allowance will create a healthy society. So, a healthy society will start from a healthy farmer. We generate income for the farmers, but we are not aware whether the farmer is healthy or not. So when a farmer is healthy, I believe that he can produce an healthy food which will develop a healthy society. So food security and adequate care resources. So caregiving resources. Food alone can't take in livelihood. So the adequate care resources with the help of like a good environment and like hygienic environment, all these things are very much important. So a combination of all these things in terms of bringing it to the roots, that is agriculture, will take up a better livelihood. So here I would like to quote an important phrase called the feed the future. I think this is very important to take note because uh, currently the present generation we lack a lot of nutritional deficiency. We don't have an balanced diet. So how are we going to give a nutritious diet to our future generation when we don't have the balanced diet? So this is something which is very important that we all should think of. So before getting into the topic, I would like to quote two quotes that is written by a poet called Thiruvalluvar, where it is around 2,400 year old literature, where the Tirukural has been translated in more than 40 languages. Here he has represented something about food. The first one is மருந்தென வேண்டாவாம் யாக்கைக்கு அருந்தியது அற்றது போற்றி உணின், which he says the requirement of medicine for our body is not at all necessary when the food you consume is digested completely and then you have a food. Means you consume a food that has to be digested completely and then take food when your body requires. When you have such kind of habits, you need not take any medicine for your body. That is the first quote represents. And the next quote represents மாறுபாடு இல்லாத உண்டி மருத்துண்ணின் ஊறுபாடு இல்லை உயிர்க்கு, which means he says when you have a balanced diet, as we have spoken, a balanced diet of protein, carbohydrates, micronutrients, macronutrients, fatty acid, all together in a combination that our stomach requires, you won't have any sickness or any illness. You'll have a healthy life. That is what he has represented before 2,400 years. Let's get into before getting into what is agriculture income pathway and all. What are we deficient in? What is the nutritional deficiency in our population? Talking about protein, we are deficient. Around 80% of Indian population are deficient in protein. And to talk about vitamin D deficiency, it is around 55 to 90% of Indian population are deficient. Anemia, 53% of women and 23% of men are deficient. And vitamin B12, around 70% of Indian population are deficient. We have all sources of like cereals or minerals or vitamins. We have plenty of it in our own ingredients, indigenous ingredients, but we lack the knowledge of consuming it. We Indian population are unaware of the protein requirement. Protein is a building block of our daily requirement, but we don't think it. There is an we Indian people think that carbohydrates is something very important for our growth, but no. That is why there is a percent of deficiency of 80%. This is our criteria of Indian population's nutrient deficiency. So let's get into what are the things that we should brainstorm to think about the agriculture income pathways and nutrition. Let me ask you something like we have increased the farmers' income. Like we are all working together to for the betterment of agriculture from both government as well as private sectors. A lot of schemes, funds, NGOs. We're all working to do something betterment for the agriculture. We have incorporated organic farmings. We are bringing in traditional varieties. Agriculture techniques have been improved. We're trying to improve the income of the farmers' income, and we are trying to make agriculture much simpler with the existing technologies and helping farmers. But all these things make the farmers healthy, nutritionally fit enough? I don't think so, because these help in increasing the income of the farmers. But is the farmer himself healthy? Does he take a nutritional diet? I don't think so. This is one thing which we all should think upon before implementing lot of things. He himself is not healthy, and how can he think of developing something healthier? So that is one thing we should think of. And has nutritional education or agriculture extension services eliminated household hunger and dietary diversity? So household hunger, as said earlier, we increase his income. He again put his income in the agriculture field, but he doesn't think of implementing him investing that money in his own diet, in his own health. And dietary diversity, I don't think we ourselves have a dietary diversity in our day-to-day life. So we should implement that dietary diversity in from the farmers. Only from when the farmer have a dietary diversity, it will be taken to the next tiers of our Indian population. And what type of market-led investments reduce poverty to improve the nutrition in the lower income quintals of value chain? So, like investments, of course, improve the value chain by creating value addition in food products. But does it improve the nutrition? It improves the economic status, but does it improve the poverty and nutrition of the lower quintals? That is a big question mark. And we have to think of what kind of investments and value chain will create income as well as the nutritional outcomes in the poorest quintals. For example, the lowest level of our Indian population as well as women's. How are we going to improve them through what kind of investments? These are the things I think which we should brainstorm to improve the nutritional background of our Indian society. So here I would like to show a small video of what is the agriculture income pathway and how are we going to improve the nutrition, and what are the requirements for it, what is what, who, and how, what are these definitions for improving these things. Those things will be explained as a short video.
Sound is not coming, Harini.
Sir,
Sound is not coming, the video.
just a second, sir.
Ah.
Ma'am, you have to share the file again. While sharing the screen, there is a button top bottom of the screen, share audio system. You have to click that and then share. Then the audio will come.
Can you guide me, sir?
Ma'am, stop sharing right now.
Okay.
Ma'am, now click share again.
Okay.
And then there is a in bottom side there is a button share audio system. Check on that and then share. Select the screen and check on share audio system and then share. Yes, ma'am. Now,
Is it
yeah.
is the audio vis-
Looking beyond
Yes, ma'am.
audio
Yes, ma'am.
clear now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, done.
Looking beyond food for better nutrition. Hunger and malnutrition continue to be major global issues, and we know agriculture is important in the fight against them. A better diet means better health. But research shows that food alone won't solve the problem of malnutrition, which is why we need to look beyond food to understand other factors affecting nutrition. Farmers need to grow and raise nutritious foods, but to make an impact, Spring has found that program planners in agriculture should also consider a few other things, and we've developed tools to help you do so. What exactly is being raised or grown? Different populations have different needs when it comes to the food they produce. Implementers should promote foods from multiple sources for healthy diets at home or for sale. Who produces the food? Women play a central role in agriculture. However, women worldwide are faced with inequality in their access to time and resources. We can help them in the fields, at work, and at home in managing demands on their time and maximizing their control of income. How is food grown and consumed? The decisions people make about what they consume and how they spend income at home are also critical to nutrition. Budgeting and discussions about investing in a healthy diet or health, hygiene, and sanitation products and services can have a positive impact on men, women, and their children, especially when we focus on empowering women in those choices. We found clear routes through which agriculture influences nutrition, but you may find designing programs that bring them both together can be a challenge. So we want to help you and other program planners use these principles and looking beyond food and toward progress for better nutrition. That's why for the last 6 years, Spring has gathered experience and used
So this is an organization called Spring Nutrition who have been working in agriculture to nutrition pathways. From this video, the crisp of what we have got from this video is like uh, what are we producing? What are we producing for what kind of population? It depends on the locality. So each locality has its own, as said in the video, each locality has its own need. For example, the southern part of India
Uh,
requires
uh,
it's a hotter
Harini,
climate than compared to the
Madam
northern side.
Harini,
So the nutritional requirements and the dietary.
Madam Harini,
Yes, sir.
hello. There is in the slide. There is
Am I
one
audible?
hide is coming. You just hide that last line. Otherwise, it is okay. Good.
Yeah. Now is it clear, sir? Yeah. So the nutritional requirements in one country called India itself varies. So we have to produce requirements based on the environment which we are in. So like what are we producing? It is depending on the location which we consume and who is going to consume it. That also depends, and who is going to prepare that healthy diet. That depends mainly on the women. That is very much important, and we give the woman is one who can create a healthy as well as an unhealthy lifestyle in any house. So the importance of a healthy diet is depending on the women, and how we consume, how are we going to invest for our healthy diet. These are the three takeaways from that video. And coming to this slide, how are we going, what is the pathways when we consider the agriculture livelihood to the nutritional pathway? How is it going on? When we talk about agriculture livelihood, there are three important criteria as shown. One is agriculture income. We produce agriculture ingredients, and we create income out of it. And next is food production, value chain from the agriculture produce, and how healthy are we when we consume that agriculture produce. So these are all completely interlinked things. When we produce an agriculture product, food production, we value add those ingredients or agriculture produce into food product and value add it. So when we add value add it, we process it and store it. When we talk about processing of like the agriculture produce, it we should clearly think about how are we going to retain the nutrition while we are processing, because it's not just we can't just simply process it and store it. There is no use of processing and store it, but retaining the nutrition during processing is very important. And the quantity of production also affects the price of the food. For example, today in Tamil Nadu, the price of 1 kg of tomato is 100 rupees. The same tomato is bought for 5 rupees and 10 rupees in another season. So the processing and storage at a particular time, at the right time, will bring the food access as well as the price. So it's all interlinked. But are we going to retain the nutrition? Retaining the nutrition in the processed product is very much important. That will give a better diet, a better health status, and it will ultimately affect the like nutrition outcomes of the society. That is how it is interlinked. So when we talk about the agriculture income, means the agriculture produce which we develop, it should be completely value added. For example, when you take the processing of tea, not even the dust of the leaf is wasted. The complete utilization of the leaf happens. That is how we should think of. And agriculture produce, for example, any kind of product, we should completely utilize it. When we utilize it, we get lot of products. For example, like not only food products, we can even convert it into non-food products like healthcare products, or it can help even the environment. Lot of value additions should be done from one agriculture produce. The complete utility is something very important that will create, not doubling, we can even triple the income of agriculture farmers. And next is women empowerment. Women is someone who will give a healthy diet and the necessary time and energy and the capacity to purchase the required dietary requirements. The required dietary produce is in the hands of women. So all these things are interrelated, and finally the outcome is particularly based on the child and the mother nutrition. As a healthy mother can grow a healthy child. So this growth will ultimately affect, influence the national nutrition profile as well as the national economic growth. It will improve the economic growth. This is how an agriculture and nutrition should be interlinked, and the value addition and the processing. How are we processing? How are we value additing? How are we completely utilizing one particular produce? That is very much important. So, what are the key things that we should consider? So, we develop a nutritious, rich food product. Is it available? How are we going to make it available, and how are we going to make it very diverse? How are we going to retain the nutrition? That is one important thing. And we produce a lot of ingredients, lot of crops, but are we utilizing? Are we utilizing for our health? Are we utilizing for our better diets? That is very much important. It should start from the farmers, that I would say. Like I said, a healthy farmer can produce a healthy crop. From the farmers, the next stages of the society will grow. When the farmer itself has an insufficient diet, and when he itself is not healthy, the next steps of the society won't grow. So the role of women. Next is the role of women in agriculture and nutrition. So mainly targeting on pregnant and lactating mothers. The support for them is much necessary at that time, and not only for lactating and pregnant women. Generally, a woman itself is responsible for the nutritional requirements of a complete family. So when a family is grown and healthy, automatically the society grows. So generate demand for diverse and nutritious food. So we, though we produce lot of products, we value add it, but in our value addition, does nutrition is there? Do we retain nutrition? Only when we retain nutrition in our value addition, it can be taken to the next generation. So retainment of nutrition is something very important that all being a food process manufacturing and all process manufacturers should keenly think of. We have lot of food products, not the quantity. It matters about the quality of the product. We eat lot of food, but do we eat nutritious food? That is very important. And how are we going to take that nutrition to the next generation is very much important. And how are we going to interlink with the policies and programs to support and to enlighten the nutrition requirement? To frankly talk about our Indian population, we are not aware of our nutritional requirement. We should enlighten, we should we should awaken the people about the nutritional requirements. So I have just given you a gist of what is nutritional income pathways and how is nutrition related to it, how is health being and how to take a nutritional diet. All these things I have covered up. So how being the founder Nutrigenetics Life Science Private Limited, how is Nutrigenetics Life Science Private Limited going to take this? How are we going to implement this? How are we going to implement the agriculture income pathways in nutrigenetics? So we are working on indigenous ingredients. That is the ingredients. As said already, each population, each sector, each division has its own requirement. So here we are concentrating on indigenous ingredients which are grown in this locality. So concentrating on indigenous ingredients, we are concentrating mainly on Palmyra palm tree. So we are how are we implementing the agriculture to nutrition pathways, that we'll be seeing in the upcoming slides, and incorporating multi-tier farming. That is what we are going to do, and we are going to generate income, maybe not double, maybe 10 times the income of the farmers. We are going to educate nutritional requirements. How are we going to do that? We'll be discussing that. And the maximum value addition of the Palmyra palm tree is our focus. As said, a healthy farmer will produce a healthy crop, and we are trying to maintain the physical and mental health of the Palmyra palm society. That will improve the overall quality. So how are we going? These are our uniqueness, and how are we going to do this? This is our part. So let me give you a small introduction about Palmyra palm. Palmyra palm is the state tree of Tamilnadu. It's completely filled in the South Asian region. It's not only available in Tamil Nadu, it's also in the regions of Kerala, Andhra, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Goa, and South Asian countries. Even in the great Itihasas and Tamil Sangam literatures, they have denoted the importance of Palmyra palm tree. We are all talking about global warming, and we lack lot of water. What is the solution? I can't say it is a solution, but as an alternative. It has been denoted in Sangam literatures like the Palmyra palm tree has the capacity to harvest water, and the surveillance of tree even at the extreme climatic conditions. It says the life of Palmyra palm is more than 100 years, and it can withstand even up to a temperature of 55 degrees Celsius. And its nutritional properties are enormous, and it helps in women reproductive health as well. So why Palmyra palm is something it has been unexplored, and which has been not tasted by the global community, and unexplored technically as well. Though it is highly nutritious and immune boosting, it hasn't been explored. So the problem that is happening with the Palmyra palm tree is not much value addition, and it is not technically explored, and nothing has been touched from this tree, though it is the state tree of Tamil Nadu. The trees have been cut. The deforestation of palm tree has been happening. More than 5 crores of trees has been cut. But the advantages from the Palmyra tree is enormous. It requires less water when compared to the other trees. It can withstand high temperature, and the water storage capacity is very high, which is much required for this the land of Tamil Nadu, because it is a area where the water is less. So the storage, for the storage purpose, the palm tree can be used. The roots of the palm tree enter very deep into it, and they store enormous water in it. That's why the palm tree was planted near the river beds, so that it can store a lot of water. And talking about the Palmyra palm farming, there is a lot of space around the farming, and we can do top tier and multi-tier cultivation in this. And this is completely organic. As of now, they haven't we need not give any chemical or any fertilizers to them, which is completely organic. It requires lesser maintenance and higher sustainability. Plus, the nutritional content is something very solid that we haven't relished at all. So, and something about Tirukural. This poet Thiruvalluvar hasn't mentioned anything about any trees about in the complete set of 1330 quotes which he has given. He has just mentioned about the Palmyra palm tree, which depicts like Tinai Tunai Nandri Seyyinum, Panai Tunaiya Kolvar, Payan Therivar. What he mentions here is like even the favor that we do to a person is small as a foxtail millet. Tinai means a foxtail millet. The favor that we do to any person is as small as a foxtail millet, but the person should consider recognized as high as a Palmyra palm tree. Here he could have mentioned with anything like in a huge sea or a sky, but ultimately he has mentioned it with, he has compared it with the Palmyra palm tree because of its importance that he has known before 2300 years itself. So what is the problem with the Palmyra palm tree? Because of its height, it is very difficult to climb the tree. This is one problem with this. And the nectar of the Palmyra tree gets fermented by 2 to 3 hours. And the improper chilling facility to avoid fermentation. This is one problem. And insufficient value addition hits the farmer's growth. And improper income to the Palmyra farm society tends to cut the tree for the wood purpose. Though it has a lot of nutritional benefits, it has been cut for the wood purpose. So these are the problems, and how are we going to implement? As said, deforestation of Palmyra palm is the major problem, and the unmet need is like to climb the tree. There is no insufficient technology, and the collection of nectar which will ferment in like 2 to 3 hours. Improper value addition, and the opportunity that when we do value addition, complete value addition from the Palmyra palm tree can be around some 30 to 40 products around it. We can do value addition, but it is not that, which we will be doing it. And the opportunity where we can focus is like hospitals, the nutritional drinks and the value added products can be given to hospitals. Sports nutrition can be covered through this. Even the ready to serve drinks, which will be highly nutritious in micronutrients, macronutrients, protein, all these things can be value added to give to the armed forces like Air Force, Navy, Army, restaurants, tourism. All these opportunities are very wide. And what are we proposing? We are proposing a modern technology to climb the tree, and a collection pouch which will have a trapping technology with a dryers technology to collect the nectar to avoid the fermentation, and value addition of the nectar into many formats and the complete utility of the tree. We'll see what other value addition can be done through this tree as well. So our key technology is like we are developing an electric or motor cart called as a multi-terrain vehicle equipped with hydraulic lift to facilitate the tree, and a collection pouch which is a fully vacuumized thing with dry ice which will avoid fermentation, and the nectar is converted into powder form and many value-added products can be done. So how are we planning this? We are trying to adopt villages which are higher sources of Palmyra palm tree. And what we are going to do is, like, we will be setting up cold storage units in those villages, and we will be facilitating them with the multi-terrain vehicle to collect the nectar as well as the Palmyra palm fruit. And then the nectar will be collected through a vehicle to our center facility where value addition can be done. And apart from this, we can do Palmyra palm ecotourism. So, talking about ecotourism, Palmyra palm ecotourism, when you look at the complete farming place of the Palmyra palm farming, there is a lot of space in and around. So, the ecotourism is something which we can think of, and we can create income generation which will double and triple the income generation of the Palmyra palm farmers. So these are the value addition that can be done. The Palmyra palm tree can be the parts from the Palmyra palm are fruit, tuber, sap, and seed. From the fruit, nutritional drinks can be done. And sap, we can make it into jaggery, sugar, wine. And the tuber is something like, it is a rich source of fiber which can be value added into like probiotics and prebiotics and candies, covering the complete society. And the seed is also a rich source of fiber where we can get converted into activated carbons, toys, brushes. All those value additions can be done. And these are the edible parts which we have seen, and these are the non-edible parts. The leaves can be converted into fertilizers. The stalks can be converted into handicrafts like fencing materials and utility systems. And the trunks can be used as roofings, like that also can roofings for the houses, or it gives a better shade, like toys and furniture. And the sheath, the fiber can be again converted into brushes, mattresses, and organic manure. Both the edible and non-edible parts can be converted into value-added products. So how are we different? We are increasing the shelf life of the Palmyra palm nectar and the Palmyra palm fruit. So when we are increasing the shelf life, it helps in easy logistics and it creates sustainability for farmers. It doubles or triples the incomes of the farmer. And we retain the nutrition. We, as I have spoken earlier, value addition is an important thing, but retaining the nutrition in the value addition process is very much important. And we are trying to make it into the form of ready to eat and ready to serve products. Through value addition of Palmyra palm tree, we are reducing the cutting of trees of the Palmyra palm and saving the Palmyra palm trees itself. Since it is suitable for tropical climates, it helps in drought resistance and regulates underground water. And through this, we can interlink even global warming. So these are the few benefits of Palmyra palm. It's a rich source of vitamin B and C, iron, zinc, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, and thiamine and riboflavin. It is a great source for controlling the blood pressure. A lot of potassium, which will help in detoxifying the liver. It keeps us hydrated. It can be converted into liquid as well as solid value additions, and it helps in controlling our eyesight. It is a good source for solving our eyesight problems. So what is the opportunity when we create so much value additions? This is something that the Palmyra palm value addition is something not relished by the global community. It will create a good economic growth and foreign exchanges, and the customers that we can create overall is like through hospitals, sports nutrition, Air Force, Navy and Army, restaurants and tourism. So how are we going to do our business? How are we going to generate our revenue? We are trying to create revenue through B2B and B2C models and global and online platforms. And even in malnutrition animation programs, the value-added products can be bought in. And a target markets, as said, defense, hospitality, and it will be very easy and safe travel companion as well. So how are we going to sustain being a startup? we are not only working on the Palmyra palm, we are working in multiple sectors like plantain, LNE, and which is untouched by the market, that will generate a sustainable ecosystem for us. Being the company, it will create a sustainable ecosystem for us as well. And a technology of like refrigeration, absorption dryer, and AI-based online platforms, blockchain technology, nutritional retention. These are the technologies that will help us in taking us. And we have been collaborated with Miracle Tree Life Science, who are working in Moringa and Palmyra Palm as well. And they are supporting us in manufacturing and marketing partner. And they help us in analyzing the capturing the market and provide technical insights of how to take it. And myself, I'm a food process engineer and alumni of IFPT and a Bayreuth social innovator. Like this is our strength. And the verticals that we are working as of now is asset Padani. Padani is a product from the Palmyra palm, and we have almost developed around some 20 products which we will be launching in the next coming year. And LNE is some a product from the tender coconut, the value-added product from the tender coconut, and a product called Nutritive Plant Egg. We are working on plant-based alternatives. So the egg, which will have the same nutritional profile of a normal egg, but it will have the texture and the taste, but it is completely taken from the plant source. We are working on nutritive plant eggs, and we are trying to extract vegan protein and vitamin, because there are a lot of protein and vitamin extractions that is happening as of now. But when we talk about the absorption and bioavailability of the protein and vitamin extraction from synthetic sources, it is much lower when we compare to the plant-based protein and vitamin extractions. So that has a better scope. We are also working on this vertical. So we are also looking on funds, applying for various funding agencies through state and central government funds, venture capitalists. We are looking for various other funds as well. So this is the pathway. We have been working on Palmyra palm since 2015, and we have incorporated just before 2 months. But the roadmap starts from 2015, and it has got boosted up through the Bayrak social immersion program. And this is the pathway, and we are targeting to commercialize the product by the next January. We'll be launching a product called Planted, and the upcoming projects in the next coming year. Thank you. I can't hear you, sir. So you're on mute.
Can you come out of the presentation mode?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, very nice that. Let me also check it up with whether the Chancellor will be joining. Let me check it up that, so just 1 minute.
The number you have dialed is currently...
I sent a message to Chancellor. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, sir. You are.
I sent a message to the Honorable Chancellor, and he's on the way to the campus at Meerut.
Okay,
If he, by time he will be in a position to join when he reaches over there. But I would like to thank you, Madam Harini Rangarajan, for your
Yes, sir.
very wonderful talk today. You talked about an area where it is traditional farming for centuries together, and you are trying to through your startup, through your company, from your technological aspect, you explored the pathways to how to convert a traditional farming into a multi-tier farming to give more than 10 times of income to the farmers and
True,
a
sir.
complete value chain. And unfortunately or fortunately, in southern part of India, the people who undertake this job, which is very important, they have added a caste to it, and
True.
this has to be overcome. Anybody can undertake this profession because it is a complete like any another farming activity.
True. True.
And and today, the way in which you talked about it, let me summarize. uh, you know uh, the way in which you talked about it is that you know your title is very important: agriculture income pathways, strengthening links between agricultural activities and nutrition outcomes. Then you talked about takeaways. Talked about introduced the nutrigenetics, and then agricultural income pathway you explained very effectively by quoting international practices and researches. And then also talked about the focus of agricultural income and nutrition, influence of nutrigenetics and nutritional opportunities. And this company is a very important company which have a very good mission and vision. We also talked about your philosophy. What is your mission? The mission is adopting a holistic approach in converting indigenous food products into an ingenious nutritional offerings in our relentless pursuit. And it's a very important one that today a tree which is can give a lot of value, not only in terms of income but nutritional value, and also is an important tree for climatic climate. It can be a part of climate smart agriculture. And the government of Tamil Nadu has converted as a state tree, recognized as a state tree. But even though they recognized as a state tree, but there is no value
No
chain.
work. True,
There is
sir.
no value chain. It is more important. And then you also put it that your vision is that shall strive to create a healthy nutritional offerings in the quest for addressing malnutrition, to anemia, to micronutrient deficiency, encompassing everything. If you concentrate on Palmyra
One thing.
tree farming, one tree which can be there for at least life, life is about more than 50 years, it can grow. And it can give almost all nutritional value, healthy nutritional offerings. And many of the youngsters can get into that. Then also you talked about values, absolute commitment to quality, void of synthetic preservatives and colors, thereby respecting mother nature. And in hearing from young scientists like you, it is very important. It means that the India is in the you know in the hands of safe hands of young scientists of today. Then you also talked about it that that talked about the overview. Nutrition deficiency is a disease. It's a, you termed it as it is a disease. It has to be eliminated. It has to be overcome. And food alone won't solve the problem of malnutrition. And agriculture is a nutrition sensitive. Don't grow the way in which the that people used to grow. It's a nutrition sensitive when it addresses an underlying cause of malnutrition and the feed the future. Our future. We have to feed the future with the nutrition sensitive food. It's very important, and that's why that it adopts nutrition sensitive agriculture support. You emphasized food security and adequate caregiving resources and access to health services and a hygienic environment. This is very important one, and he also quoted from old Tamil literature, Thirukkural, and very important that how this has been given that you have to take nutritious food. In all the three Kurals which you quoted, it's very important, and it is available in major world languages, translated, and 1,330 words,
1330.
2 lines, 7 words. And then also said it that deficiency in Indian population and the protein, anemia, vitamin D, and vitamin B12. And he also said it to today's discussion is on, has increased farmers' income resulted in improved nutrition? You talked about farmers are producing food, but whether that their income increase has improved nutrition, and has nutrition education in agriculture extension services eliminated household hunger and dietary diversity, and what type of market-led investment reduces poverty and improves nutrition in lower income quantiles of value chain network. Your 5 questions which you asked about it, your 4 questions, which kind of investment and value chain increase income and improve unemployment among the poorest quantile and within other vulnerable groups? These 4 questions you have addressed, and the government should look into it, take note of it. And this is where the university comes into the picture. The 4 questions which you asked for it, based on your talk, this has to be converted as a policy paper with the 4 sections. Has increased farm incomes resulted in improved nutrition? Has nutrition education in agriculture extension services eliminated household hunger and dietary diversity? And what type of market-led investment reduce poverty and improve nutrition in lower income group of the value chain? And what kind of investment and value chain increase income and improve unemployment? These 4 questions which you raised, has, what, and which is very important for the policy thing. And looking beyond food for better nutrition, the video which you have shown has given a clear message. It has to be made available in every village. I quoted Acharya Vinoba Bhave's statement. India is a Gramin Pradesh, 6.25 villages. This message, it took 6.25 lakhs villages. The message has to go to every village that looking beyond food for nutrition, better nutrition. Then he also quoted agriculture nutrition pathway, quoting international research report. It is very clear, and agriculture extension education should use this framework for better education for not only students and all the farmers. 14.5 crore operational holders should be educated that how to produce nutritious food. And I also talked about it, that the ways to improve nutrition through agriculture. And you also put it that how your company, Nutrigenetics, is unique. You talked about it, working on indigenous ingredients, mainly Palmyra palm. I know I come from the district down southern part of Tamilnadu. and how important the Palmyra trees, and which have been neglected over centuries. And today, as a young scientist, you have taken it up. And implementation of agriculture to nutrition pathways. This one tree can be the main tree which can give, and it is organic farming. Today, people talk about organic farming. This tree doesn't need anything; it has to be planted. That's it, nothing else. And you plant, and you planted, and this will give you money. And income generation for farmers. You also, in your talk, you talked about it. Not only 2 times, it can be 10 times and more times, because it can generate lot of edible and non-edible parts, which can go to throughout the world. You also talk about all Asian countries have got Palmyra tree. I visited many of the Asian countries. Even in northern, in India, you go to Uttar Pradesh, eastern part of Uttar Pradesh. You go to Bihar. Bihar is also like, if you go there, you can also see the southern part of India. Lot of Palmyra trees. And there is no value addition there in the state of Bihar. And then you talked about, that maximum value addition from Palmyra tree, and a healthy farmer will produce healthy crop. He also touched a very important thing, that integrated farm health management, which includes farmers' health. This is a $1 trillion economy, and a scientist like you should become a part of the health informatics value chain of the Shobhit Institute of Engineering and Technology. It was very important. All the scientists working in health informatics and allopathy, Ayurvedic, Indian system of medicine, and then get into plant health informatics, animal health informatics, soil health. The minerals of the soil controls the metabolism of the cells of human, animal, and plant. If the healthy soil is not healthy, whatever you grow on the soil is not going to be healthy. And if the healthy food cannot, such a food cannot give you the nutritious food. And then you also talked about the takeaways. Just 1 minute. And you talked about the problems, and the Palmyra tree has got that there is no chilling facility, difficult to climb the tree, maintain hygiene, and insufficient value addition with respect to farmers' growth and improper income. These are all some of the problems which you have talked about it. And then why you are focusing on Palmyra tree. Entire range of South Asia is filled with palm tree, being state tree of Tamil Nadu, and also available in Kerala, Andhra, Karnataka, Maharashtra, Goa, and South Asian countries. And it is a water harvesting capacity is very high, and its nutrition value helps in women reproductive health is very important, and it has been unexplored technically, and highly nutritious and immune boosting drink. And you also talked about what are the solutions you are proposing it, that this is preferred, such as modern technology with safety equipment to climb the tree. Why I'm repeating is that the people who listen to your talk, listen to this talk, should also look into it very carefully, that this is a tree which is available in South Asian countries. All the scientists working in this area should become, and there has to be an international research center related to Palmyra has to come in India. We should work for that, and I hope that you have put a
we will be
seed on
working.
that
Yes, sir.
aspect. And then this is value addition of this nectar which comes from Palmyra tree into powder form and complete utility of the tree. And you also talked about the customers, how the Indian defense forces can have an very hygienic and also value added nutrient drink. And then that's the key technology which you said, that that an electric or motor cart known as multi-terrain vehicle equipped with hydraulic lift for climbing the tree. It's very important. And collection pouch which fully vacuumized back with the dry ice, drying the nectar into powder. They're all important thing, and we appreciate and thank the proof of concept to which you have described very effectively. And you also say that we'll give a minimum guarantee price to the
Price.
cultivators, and also talked about future hope, that what all the edible parts can come, and also non-edible parts, and how you are different, that being the first of its kinds will be creating a value-based global market. You are not limited to India alone.
Yeah, ma'am.
It's like a jackfruit. You are also making, it's a global product, and higher self life, easy logistic, creating sustainability for farmers, because it's a tree, whether it's rain or flood or and
It will sustain.
normal season, the tree will be there. It can give during its season. It can have this income to the farmer morning and evening. And we have to have varieties that it has to be throughout the year, 12 months of the year, it should give its income to the farmer. And it nitrates nutrition as mother's nature ready to serve. And reduce cutting of trees is very important, and is suitable for a tropical climate. And it has a drought resistance, and that you also said in your talk. That's why the Palmyra trees are being planted along the banks
In
of
the
rivers.
robotics.
And regulate underground water, and also is very effective with respect to reduce, and for reduction of global warming. And you have such traditional tree, and why importance is not being given, why the present day agriculture scientists are not looking to that.
Working.
You also talked about the benefits of palmyra palm, rich source of vitamin B and C, iron, zinc, potassium, calcium, phosphorus, thiamine, and riboflavin. It controls blood pressure, lot of potassium, which helps detox the liver, and keeps hydrated, and controls eyesight problems, and so much benefits which the Palmyra tree aloe can give it. And the opportunities, the enormous nutritive value is not released by the global community. Value addition will give a good economic growth and foreign exchange. Customer types are hospitals, sports nutrition, armed forces, restaurants, and tourism. And I also talked about the business model, talked about revenue model, target markets, and sustainability. And we also talked about the technology, cutting edge technology of refrigeration, absorbing, that drying, AI based online platform, blockchain technology, and nutrition retention. This is very important. And you also talked about that your key partners, my Miracle Tree Life Sciences, and strategic investor supporting in manufacturing and marketing, and driver, that shareholders, and help in analyzing and capturing the market. And it's very important. And you're also going to thinking about healthy nutritional powders, and you are given a very good roadmap, that starting from that, you know involved in BRAC social immersion, alpha prototype, and beta prototype, and go to market, and commercial production. Hope that all the startups who are listening or will listen your talk, and you have become an example as to how to get into that. And because investment is available, people getting into the startup, but you have gone through all the steps, and this is very important. It's
Yes.
a lesson. And then that you have given a complete value chain from a problem to and a roadmap with the ending that how you would like to grow as a global value chain with a one tree. A tree is by nature is an organic tree. You don't need any fertilizer, any chemical fertilizer, and which can give lot of sub products which can make soil healthier. So this is a
True,
very
true, sir.
important talk. I think our honorable chancellor is I think have not reached the campus yet, and it's a very important talk, and it has given complete value addition to the our national webinar series and doubling farmers income by 2022. And you quoted indigenous experience, national efforts, and also international research experience, and also how that as as a startup, that how you are linked with very prestigious partners. And we appreciate you, appreciate your very meaningful and important talk. We thank you, and also that we congratulate you and our best wishes for coming up very effectively as a successful entrepreneur in your effort. And if you would like to need any help from the university, we are ready to support you. And you have signed an MOU with the university for under we can have a joint research project, not only in India, in internationally. And also that they to educate the youths, rural youths, to undertake the Palmyra farming, organic farming, based on your experience. I quote an example: state of Bihar, it grows a lot of Palmyra tree,
Amarata.
and I do not know, I have not studied that the activities which are going on, but I do in Delhi.
Yes,
We
sir.
get the nutrition value that is a root from the fruit, the seed. We get it during Pongal days, Pongal time in the month of January in Delhi. I get it from Bihar.
Okay,
And
okay, sir.
so we can train the rural youths, and we can create a diploma, so short duration courses, online. And also the people can come down to your startup and your research lab to understand. So my request will be that you convert your experience into maybe a 3 months diploma,
Okay, sir.
and
Okay.
uh, and can be offered from the Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies of the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology, deemed to be university, to at least
Okay.
target this to rural use from northern part of India where the Palmyra tree is available. You take Madhya Pradesh, you take Bihar,
Surely, sir.
and eastern part of Uttar Pradesh and Jharkhand.
Mm-hmm.
They grow a lot of this it's available.
Yes,
And
sir.
even
Yes.
in the state, in Myanmar, I have visited Myanmar. I've seen a lot of
It's
Palmyra tree,
completely filled with Palmyra.
that it is there. So it is a very important topic, even though the topic title doesn't talk about Palmyra tree, but you talked about everything with the core component of Palmyra tree. And as a person who is born and brought up in rural India, southern part of India, Tamil Nadu, southern part of Tamil Nadu, I know the importance of Palmyra tree, and this has to be helped. And I'm very happy personally that in my career I'm able to host a talk which is exclusively on the value chain of Palmyra tree. And my mission is fulfilled by handing over this task to younger generations like yours and the
I think
university.
the next
It's
time I host, like all the value additions will be on track and will be on the like commercial scale. I think that would happen.
It's very nice that. So with this, I would like to thank. Let me once again, you know, invite, if whether he is reached. Let me find out. Let me talk to him. Madam Harini, that uh, you know, can you explain? Can you also give
Yes,
your
sir.
thought that how you would like to, collaborate with us, with the university?
Um, we can like the value addition. How can we value add by retaining the nutrition? That part is the major thing that I am concentrating on. So just value addition doesn't take the nutrition. So along with value addition, we wanted to bring the same nutrition as well. So that part we can collaboratively see what kind of technologies can be brought in for processing it, and how can we involve the support for bringing in the farmers to engage the farmers in this process is very important. So that how can we engage, that can be collaboratively done with Shobhit University in the northern regions. The track of
You also, yeah, please carry on.
like the parts of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, all these parts can be covered, and see what help can be done to the Palmyra Palm Society over there. How can we utilize them? How can we utilize them in nutrigenetics? Or how can we set up factories for them to utilize the Palmyra palm and double their income? All these parts can be collaboratively done there with Shobhit University.
No, it's, I know, even in this webinar series, I have purposefully read out the titles of the topic. Is very many people have appreciated, because each topic, lends to a research problem or a startup problem, and so on and so forth, to further inquire, further, deep dive it. That, about today is the 55th edition, and digital technology in agriculture is very important. The doubling farmers' income
True.
by 2022, of the government of India, talks about the large scale, digitalization of Indian agriculture. And, India grows about something like more than 400 commodities, and livestock economy and fisheries economy. And this is a very important, and that's why the university concentrates on through 5 centers of excellence: agriculture, health, and small scale industries. And agricultural industries are all small scale industries, and how technology should penetrate. So in the Palmyra Tree in your sector, and if you take it up along with the center, these 2 centers of excellence, if you adopt the digitalization of technology, the farming systems, which you are concentrating, then it can be very easy for globalizing it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
And like that, this is, we are going to have an international tropical informatics, fruit informatics network, that is international tropical fruit informatics network value chain, based on my talk,
Okay, sir.
which is, I gave an example of banana, processing and agro processing technology center,
Okay, sir.
in southern part of Tamil Nadu. And like that, the Palmyra tree also has to come, value addition
It will come, sir. We will take it in a year.
has to come. And for that, these industries, like, these startups like you, and the centers of excellence like these two are very important. And Center for Agricultural Informatics Deep Research Studies is the first in kind in the world.
Okay.
And we have launched MTech in Agricultural Informatics to train BS agriculture graduates
Okay,
and
sir. Okay, sir.
non-agriculture graduates, to bring them back to agriculture sector through IT
Okay.
in agriculture. agriculture. So you can promote and motivate the rural
Surely, sir.
boys and girls to get into MTech in agricultural informatics. They should become an
Informatics.
entrepreneur.
Surely,
And
sir.
we
We will
launched
do
it.
it.
And then also that, MBA in agribusiness management,
Management.
which is completely different from what is being offered by many other agricultural universities and so on and so forth. And then MBA for CEOs of SMEs, 63 million
Okay, sir.
SMEs in the country,
Hmm.
63 million SMEs in
Okay,
the
sir. It's a
country.
great.
They need to be globalized. And so agriculture, this is agricultural informatics is very important. And I have been driving for the last 35 years. And after my retirement, I joined this university to, as a professor emeritus to establish these 5 standards of excellence. So
Okay,
it
sir.
is very important that you talked about it. Is a very important value chain, and you are given a complete that starting from the what is available on the ground, how important this organic farming, how it can give more than 10 times income to the farmer, and how we should bring in agricultural and nutrition sensitive agriculture, and without further investment, the Palmyra tree can give a nutrition, agriculture is an example for agricultural nutrition sensitive agriculture. So I would like, please try, bring out, let us publish a paper based on this talk, and also a policy paper to be submitted to the government. And
Sure, sir.
also that let us undertake a lot of research project based on this one. With this, I would like to thank you for joining us to deliver a very important talk. And with this, I would like to thank the participants of this national webinar series for joining us. And our greetings from the Soviet Institute of Engineering and Technology. For more research inquiries, please contact Professor Moni Maraswamy, Professor Emeritus and Chairman, Center for Agricultural Informatics and E-Governance Research Studies, and Center for Agribusiness and Disaster Management Studies. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
We
much for
close
giving
the
me the opportunity, sir.